Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today. What is that noise? Are you guys hearing this? Are you hearing this? Is it just me?
I am hearing it.
Robert, listen, if you can hear me, you're going to have to be quiet because I can hear you. I'm going to have to let you go. Text him, babe. I can't do it. All right. So in case you haven't noticed here, Blog Talk is down again. I don't know what to say at this point. Like, we're going to have to find something else. This is like, I know we've been saying it for a long time, but Blog Talk sucks. I don't know any other company who can be down as much as them and get paid as much as them. We don't pay, listen, man, we pay a good amount to keep Blog Talk every month. And the fact that we do, I mean, they haven't worked for 2 shows now. That's literally half a month. What are we paying them for? I don't understand. Like, what are we actually paying them for? What are we paying them to do? It's ridiculous. Robbie just texted me, I got cut off, guys. You think?
Because you're breathing like you're having friggin' an orgy back there or something.
What's going on there? What are you doing? Can't you just stay on the phone and be quiet? That's it. That's all you have to do.
Put your phone on mute until you're ready
all
to
you
go.
Had to do. All right, tell him to give me a call back, babe. Just tell him he was making too much noise. And I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll turn that down. We can fix it. Tony Ayo says Ringside Robbie needs to step down as a caller. He said he needs to pull a Joe Biden. All right, listen, you guys know the drill. Don't worry about calling in because, of course, Blog Talk's down because they suck. Can't stand Blog. I hate them. I just, babe, I've always hated them. I've always hated, and I hate them now. More than anything. Every single week, it's like this. Every single week. Because those morons over there can't get it together. Because they don't have enough skill over there to get it together.
They're worse than Congress.
A lot worse. Let me tell you what, they're a lot worse.
What's their approval rating right now?
17? 0.0 is their approval rating right now, babe. That is it. 0.0. All right. ESPN. Let's start off with ESPN. Let's start off with a real fight, and then we'll go to the sideshows. Junto Nakatani versus Vincent Astrolabe for the WBC bantamweight title. Nakatani wins by a knockout in the first round. It was a body shot that did the damage. It looks like it hit him dead center in the stomach.
Right in the belly button, right in the pit.
Babe, I thought it was a liver shot. When I first saw it, I was like, man, he went down and jabbed him, and he right in the liver or whatever. And I looked, it was right in his belly button. It was like right like a gut shot. Have you ever seen that reaction to a body shot like that?
Who was a Jamel Charlo shot who did he knock him out with he hit him with a very similar shot. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was in one of his title fights. I'm trying to remember who it was, but he landed a shot similar to that. If anyone can remember that, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but it wasn't
a solar plexus shot. It was right in his breadbasket. It looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird because of you know how those body shots always have that delayed reaction, so you never really know like how impactful those shots are, and until you see that delayed reaction. And
yeah,
it's just crazy.
And Jerry said same as the Usyk punch. He's right. He's the same as that punch that got Usyk.
Yeah,
right in his gut. Let me ask you a question, Beeb. Is Nakatani a serious contender for Inoue?
Absolutely. Calix Boxing's been high on this guy for a long time. And I always thought this guy was good, but he's just, He's just been getting better and better, man. His performances have become more and more impressive. He's getting rid of guys quick. This guy has the power, I think, and the speed and explosiveness to challenge Inoue. Definitely. Definitely.
Unknown caller.
All right.
Stop breathing like you're having sex. Please.
I can hear him talking. So all right, you're on hold, Robert, and you're muted. So there you go. All right.
Stop hyperventilating.
Yeah, what's the matter with you? All right. So do you think that, listen, because they said Inoue is going to fight, and next year he's going to move up to 126. You think that fight happens sooner rather than later?
It's possible. It's possible. Because I think, you get two top-ranked guys, right? Won't be hard to make. And because of the styles, the build-up for this fight, you look at all each fighter's highlight reel knockouts that they all have, and you just keep playing that in a loop, and fans will really get excited for that. Inoue obviously is really big in Japan, but I'd like to see him have that, be like Michael Carbajal was, be that guy for the lower weight classes, like universally. I think because he's such an action-packed fighter, he's got a great personality. I would really like to see that guy cross over, because that's a good look for boxing.
Yeah.
When you look at a guy like Inoue, that's a fight fan's dream, right? That's the fan-friendly style that you like. And, I just think the sky's the limit for this guy. I think 126 will be the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
And this Nakatani fight would be a blockbuster.
Huge in Japan.
Blockbuster.
I mean, you're selling out the Egg Dome with that, right?
Yeah. Monster fight.
Easy.
Monster fight.
And you know what they're going to do? They're going to put it on New Year's Eve over there. That's how they do the New Year's Eve. Then they always got the New Year's Eve card.
Right.
Riku Kano versus Anthony Alasquaga. Alasquaga knocks out Riku Kano in the third round to win the vacant WBO flyweight title. And that was about it for the ESPN card. Let's move over here to the DAZN card. This is the Jake Paul card. Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. Biba, did you have a chance to see this or not? I don't know if you had a chance to see it or not. Or just caught some highlights, maybe.
Yeah, I actually went back and watched the highlights. I didn't watch it live. I fell asleep. But it was again,
it was just bad boxing, wasn't it? Honestly, it was a good fight. Let me break this down. So I think it was a good fight. It was a good scrap. Okay. But if you're looking for like professional boxing, this ain't it. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. It was almost like watching the Masvidal and Diaz fight. It was good, but it was a fun fight to watch. It was a fan-friendly fight.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's just not what you're used to.
I mean, again, I don't want to be
like $1 short.
I don't want to.
Phone lines are down.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's like these are like tough man contests. You know what I mean? These aren't real fights.
No, but this, and we had talked about it. We had talked about it earlier. Is this all we're going to get from Jake Paul? Yeah, this is it. He's going to fight. He's going to fight these guys that have different sports, different. Where he's going to fight Mike Tyson at 60. Who's having ulcer problems and all this other stuff. I mean, they had to pull that plane over. All right, he was in a plane. They had to land it. It was an emergency landing for Mike Tyson because he had an ulcer problem. And now that's why the fight was canceled. Now he's got to fight him again in November. Why? Why is this fight even taking place? I mean, like, come on, it's not even worth it.
I'm not excited for it.
No, I'm not either. It is, man. And but I tell you what, Paul is getting better. Jake Paul is getting better. And but the guy he fought last night, Mike Perry, who's a good fighter in MMA and stuff, and bare knuckles.
Yeah.
But he came out there like a complete fool yesterday. I mean, he's waiting for the shot. It looks like he was waiting for the shot. His hands were, mid-range, everything like that. Next thing you know, man, boom. I mean, he had his hands down the whole fight, and he's getting killed. Jake Paul's, so Jake Paul's gotten better, but let me tell you what, though, his stamina, I don't know what his deal is, but after that second round, he was blowing. I mean, he was huffing and puffing and everything like that. He's really got to work on his stamina. I guess, but the only real boxer he's ever faced was Tommy Fury, and he lost. He put up a good account of himself, but he lost.
We say this all the time, though, too, Eric, and it's always kind of pans out to be true. If you keep fighting a specific level of fighter, then you're going to get comfortable getting away with those mistakes that you're making against that fighter who can't capitalize on those mistakes. Then when you step up, it's a rude awakening, right?
Yeah.
And this guy's talking about, I'm going to be champion one day. I'm really taking this serious. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna knock the hustle. I believe in capitalism. If I don't like something, I don't have to buy it. I'm not gonna trash it. I do a show every week that I'm thankful and grateful that I'm able to come on here every week and listen and bring a great show to you, great callers and great viewers out there and great people in the chat, except for Jerry. No, I'm just kidding. But but I have to tell the truth, right? I get paid to tell the truth here at Beeb Industries on Ringside Reporter. And I can't get excited for these fights. And again, as you said, fought Tommy Fury, who's technically a boxer, but he's not the creme de la creme either. And he beat you. So,
yeah, and I mean, listen, man, if he was really serious about this, he'd be fighting real boxers. That's it. Yeah. What is August is stacked? Edward Torres says August is stacked. I agree, it is. But coming up next week, not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot at all. Let's talk about these undercard here. We had JC Chavez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall, Beeb, was what, 1-0 as a boxer or 0-1 as a boxer? How did this? I don't even know. Number one, I don't even know how this got sanctioned. But number two, Chavez wins unanimous decision, 59-55 twice and 58-56. My son said he caught it. Antonio said it wasn't that great of a fight. So afterwards, Chavez called out, what's his face, Jake Paul.
That'll be the next fight. That'll be the other real boxer I fought.
Right. Way behind his prime, Amanda Serrano was against Stevie Morgan, fought Stevie Morgan. Serrano knocks out Morgan in 2 rounds. Morgan looks scared to death in this fight. I mean, she really did. This was complete. I felt really bad for her because she looked awful.
I'm just going to say this, right? This woman's a bully. She really is.
Oh, for sure.
She just loves to beat on these types of opponents, What was the sense to this? Honestly, what was the sense to this? No disrespect.
That girl had no reason to be in there with her.
No disrespect to Morgan, but again, and then she posted footage one time on social media. I think it was Twitter, and she was just beating up this poor girl, and then everyone's sitting there and she's bragging why would you post beating up a sparring partner and bloodying her face and all that? And thinking you were going to get a positive response out of it.
Because you're a jerk,
It's like she comes off like she's this sweet person and I love everybody. I'm just not
hate her.
I'm just not a fan. I don't like her.
I'm not a big fan of her either.
Sorry. I'm willing to receive all the negative comments and hate mail from you guys in the chat, but I just don't. I'm not a big fan of this woman.
Yeah.
Katie Taylor is a real woman's fighter, right? She's a real woman's fighter. And when she fights her again on that Mike Tyson undercard at 140, Katie Taylor's going to beat her again.
There you go.
Give her her comeuppance. Give her her comeuppance. Right?
Lucas,
you won't be able to bully Katie Taylor.
What's the matter with you?
I'm not going to calm down a little bit.
Come on.
Wait a minute. I got to show them some respect. I'll be like a chauvinist pig like you.
What's the matter with you? There's only room for one chauvinist on the show. That's me. Lucas Prince Badi versus Ashton Silve. This might be the knockout of the year so far. If you guys haven't seen it, go Google it or go YouTube it or whatever. This really could be the knockout of the year, man. Lucas Badie wins over Ashton Silve. Silve came in with a lot of hype and was winning every round. They were talking about him fighting Floyd Schofield next. Badie caught him in the 6th round with a 3-punch combo that finished with a left hook, dropped him face first. He didn't move. He was actually down for quite a few minutes before he was able to get up, checked out, and he was okay. Obviously deemed okay. But yeah, man, that was scary, but it was a killer knockout, man. That left hook, that final left hook that he hit him with, he was out before he got hit with that left hand. It was insane. It was ridiculous. So if you saw this, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you didn't see it, man, go watch it. Trust me. Yeah, nasty KO.
That was vicious. That was vicious.
Completely awesome. And he was losing every round up until then. He lost every round. On DAZN, Alex Roca versus Santiago Dominguez. Roca beats Dominguez by unanimous decision, 98-92, 99-91 twice. So there you go. There's the recap for this weekend. Let's look ahead to next weekend. What's going on here? Let's see here. Jake Paul. Yeah, we saw that one. 2 coming up, Beeb? 2 looks like 2. Yeah, 2 coming up here. So we got July 27th, London, ESPN, Joe Joyce versus Derek Chisora, 12 rounds heavyweights.
Interesting.
July 27th, and that's going to be on ESPN Plus. July 27th on DAZN, Vanessa Lepage Joinassy versus Claressa Shields. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yeah.
Lepage Joinassy?
I think so.
I don't care. Listen,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You're never going to hear from after this fight anyway.
Doesn't matter.
This is for the heavyweight, the WBC heavyweight title.
Yeah.
What exactly is heavyweight in women's boxing?
It's the same. And D-Style made a good point. He said that he believes once you reach 168, they should just consolidate all the weight classes. They shouldn't even be.
That chick looks small. She looks real small next to Claressa Shields. I don't know how, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, Claressa's going to, I say Claressa's going to kill her. Claressa's going to outbox her because Claressa's only got 2 knockouts, but Claressa's fighting live people.
Yeah.
Serrano's not fighting live people. That's the difference. There's levels to this. Let's see what else here. In Japan, there's a one on the 28th. Pedro Tadaran versus Genjiro Shikoga for Shikoga's IBF strawweight title. And there's no TV on that. What's coming up after that? All right, August 3rd. That's the card.
That's the
August
card.
3rd, Ismail Madrimov versus Terrence Crawford for Crawford's WBA, or for Madrimov's WBA Super Junior.
It's a great
middleweight
card.
title.
That's
Andy Ruiz, Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Yeah.
10
rounds heavyweights. Isaac Cruz versus Jose Valenzuela. David Morrell versus Radovojic. What is it? Kalajic? How do you pronounce his name? Kaladzik? It'll be Kaladzik today. Jared Anderson versus Martin Bacoli, Andy Cruz, Antonio Morrell. That's a stacked card.
Stacked card.
And who's putting it together, B?
His Excellency.
Riyadh season.
His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh. I've been trying to
that's
tell
who, you know what? I tell you what, if he came, I'd vote for him for president. I'd put him on the map. Put him in there. Couldn't do any worse. Let's see what's going on. That's about it for coming up. And then they got Borja Chuck versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. coming in after that, a couple weeks after that. So there you go. That's the action for next week. Nothing really huge, but fights on the list. I'm looking forward to the August 3rd card.
We got a big fight in September too with Joshua versus Dubois. Then coming down the pike, we got October Bivol versus Beterbiev, October 12th. So and then we got Fury versus Usyk too, December 21st.
Yeah.
So we're having a slow July, but the upcoming months thereafter are going to be pretty packed.
MB says, are you giving Madrimov a chance? He's got a chance. Listen, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely got a chance. He's at the weight. He's more comfortable at the weight, I think, than Crawford is. Crawford does look big. Did you see him sparring Andre Ward? He looks big.
He's big. He's big, yeah.
He looks pretty big.
And contrary to people's belief, he was having problems making 147 too.
Yeah.
Wasn't just Spence.
Yeah, it wasn't like he came down easy and was.
He already said before that fight he was moving up. So I don't know why people are surprised that he's moving up. Some people are surprised. Oh, why didn't he stay down there and fight Boots? Because he said before the fight he's moving up.
Yeah.
Boots can move up if he wants.
Yeah. But Dreamwall looks huge too. Yeah. He's 154. So it's going to be a good fight.
This ain't no cupcake.
He's a live dog. Yeah. I know. And I know he's the underdog, but he is a live dog there.
That's right.
I would favor Terrence Crawford to beat him, but yeah, that's a good fight. It's not easy. It's not going to be an easy fight for him. Let me bring Ringside Robert on. Robert, you're live.
Robert.
Hang on. All right. Go ahead. You're live.
Robert.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good.
First of all,
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick with you, man.
Oh, my God. Here we go again.
I want to know, because I heard you were one of those people that was calling up Joe Biden's team and pressure him to get out of the race. And I want to know why. Why did you go against democracy? 14 million people voted for that guy. Why did you and your fellow Californians, Nancy Pelosi and all of them, why are you pushing this guy out of the race?
I had nothing to do with this
That's
decision,
blasphemous.
Joe.
You did. You're one of the delegates down in California. You called and you were complaining.
No. Anyway, no, this election season is going to be very, very interesting. What can I say? But that's not what we're here to discuss. Did you see the Nakatani fight, guys?
Yeah.
Of course. We just talked about it.
We just talked about it. Yeah.
Pay attention.
Well, I have not. I'm not able to hear
flashcards?
this conversation. But didn't that shot that he hit the guy with in the body look similar to the one that Daniel Dubois hit Usyk with? And the guy pulled it a low blow.
Yeah.
I was saying the same thing.
That's somebody in the chat said, yeah.
I was saying the same thing. And we're going to talk about another fight where similar shots were being landed. And then we'll get to that one later in the show. But there was another fight that the same thing happened. And then Dominguez in the Rocha fight was doing the same thing. And then he tried to cower over, and the ref said, no, come on, continue fighting. That's not low. So again, goes back to what we said. 9 out of 10 referees are not calling that shot low.
And he was in.
That's right.
That referee was in good position to see that shot too.
Correct. So that's
correct.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. You're right. 9 out of 10 are not calling that shot low.
That's right.
I wouldn't have called that Usyk shot low. That was not low.
No, it wasn't low.
No, it was not low. So by all rights, Daniel Dubois has a case to be.
Robbie, that ship has already sailed. Stop trying to rehash things. Don't be like Trump, who's still complaining about the 2020 election. You got to let things go, Robbie.
No.
You got to let things go, please.
So, but no, I just found it ironic when I'm sitting there watching Nakatani fight, how Thomas Taylor handled it, how Ray Corona handled this situation on Friday night. They both handled it the way it was supposed to be handled, and Luis Pabon did not handle it correctly at all. So,
Robbie, what do you want to start doing? Referee seminars? Please, let's get past this.
Anyway.
You are Steve Smoger?
Did you watch the Jake Paul fight?
No.
Yes,
I'm not going to pay $65
I got a text from Mrs. Herrick this morning saying,
what a good fight it was.
Why did he buy that, Joe? Why did you talk to him and tell him not to waste money like that? That was one Applebee's dinner that has to be canceled because you bought that pay-per-view.
I did not buy that, guys.
That was a terrible.
I did not buy that.
It was, and what got me is when I was reading it off last week, when we had DAZN at, in England, it was going to be $20 or 20 pounds. Everywhere it was going to be $20 everywhere else, except here where it was $70. Ridiculous. How is that possible, Beep? How can they do that? How can they do that? We get charged triple.
I see people on Twitter all the time complaining about the prices of the zone. Like people will screenshot, price increase. I'm not re-upping. And here's the thing too. Queensberry is going to sign a deal with the Zone. They're leaving TNT, and they're now Queensberry. So,
yep.
We'll see.
They're going to add more fights.
Yeah,
So-
we'll see
so-
what happens,
Yep.
man. But
So-
I
so
mean,
all these people are going to be on the Zone now.
yeah,
And I heard an interview on Friday with Tim Bradley. He was being interviewed by somebody, and he was talking about how well the Zone is doing as far as covering fights is concerned. And he says he's very disappointed in the quality of ESPN fights, and they don't cover as many fights as they should for the money that they're paying Top Rank.
Why would he say that if he
Zone
works
is
for
doing
ESPN?
Well, because he's getting ready to leave.
who?
Who told you that, Robert?
Bradley.
How do you know Bradley's
Bradley
leaving?
talked about it on a podcast I heard on Friday.
He said
What
he was getting ready to
podcast?
leave. He said he's getting ready to leave ESPN.
That's correct.
I need a source here, man. Don't be
Yeah, I
like
need
Jerry.
a source too. Yeah, I need a
Don't
source too.
start coming in here like Jerry,
Yeah,
dropping
just
bombs
dropping up
with no
nonsense.
sources.
Yeah,
What's the source?
The
What's
source.
the
Yep.
podcast? What's
Tim
the
Bradley
podcast?
said this.
Chris, he was on Chris Manning's podcast, guys.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You did give a source. You're not like
All right,
Jerry.
all right,
You're
all
not like
right.
Jerry who just pulls things out of his. I don't want to go there. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's terrible. That's
Sorry.
terrible.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that Tim Bradley. Yeah, I guess with the Shakur Stevenson thing, maybe he could have got some hot water. And I tell you what, though, that Deep Water or whatever with him, Chris Algieri, and Paulie Malignaggi and all them, that's a pretty good show. That's a pretty good show.
I like Chris Algieri.
I do too. I shouldn't,
Yes.
but I do.
He's very good. He's very good.
Yeah.
He's a good analyst.
Yeah, he really is.
Paulie was a good analyst too, but he was just
I can't stand Paulie.
Oh, you don't
as an
like Paulie?
analyst. No,
I like.
he is
I liked
the
his,
worst.
I liked his insight.
I don't,
I
because
just
he's always so biased on there. He's worse than Tim Bradley. He really is. He sucks.
A lot of people don't like him though.
I don't like him at all.
I just like how he used to break things down.
But I will tell you this: I like listening to him talk. I don't like him calling the fights, but I like listening to it, like what he says about boxing and stuff like that, and talking about it. He's interesting there. When he's on the fights, he's not very interesting there.
Yeah, but he's biased when he does that too. He hates Canelo.
Well, I didn't say he wasn't biased.
Oh yeah,
there.
he makes that very clear.
I guess-
guys.
fine
He
with
makes
that.
that very clear.
You can
I
still
just
be
don't-
entertaining if you're biased. That's a fair
You can
point.
be biased all you want. Listen, I just don't
As
want
long
to
as you're entertaining, as long as you're entertaining, that's all that matters.
That's right. That's right.
Al Bernstein is the GOAT, MB. I love
Yeah.
that. Al Bernstein was my favorite.
Where's he at now? Is he announcing anything? What's
I think
he
he
doing?
was doing every now and then. I guess he was saying he did something on the Zone, but he hasn't been consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on the Zone a couple of weeks ago. He did one of those weeknight cards, but I haven't seen him on there since, so I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not as consistent as he once was.
Tony Yayo says Tessitore will stay with ESPN. Well,
Yeah, he
then
probably
all is
will.
right with the world. There you go.
Yeah, because he does like baseball and on college football and stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he does a lot of other sports.
Yeah. He's just okay for me. He's
I'm not crazy about him.
Yeah,
I've never
he's
been
not
crazy
good
about
in boxing.
I always thought Jim Lampley was the best one.
You
I
like
always
Jim
say if you're
Lampley?
talking about announcers, Jim
Absolutely.
Lampley was the best announcer.
What about
Absolutely.
when he used to cry? Did you like when he used to cry on air?
I did. Yeah, I did. Because
You like that?
I would make fun of him. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I would just call him a baby
Yeah.
or something like that, But he cried at like the drop of a hat. Remember the
yeah.
Marquez Pacquiao fight? He was crying.
Oh yeah. Hey
Yeah.
Jim, how you doing? I'm okay.
Waterworks, man.
I'll be okay.
Yeah, you know what? Screw Jim Lampley. He's out too.
No,
He's
you
done.
can't have people
Yeah,
crying.
you can't.
on
We're
air
not doing
over-
it. We're not doing
You
it.
can't have like that. That's a lot. We can't have that feminine energy, man. You get enough of
Yeah.
that feminine energy from Robert. We don't need any more.
Robert, I was going to say, Robert, do you agree?
give me a break.
That was cold-blooded,
No.
man.
I'm sorry, Robbie. That was a slip.
That
I
was
didn't mean that.
cold-blooded.
Eric told me to say that. It was in the producers, the teleprompter. You know, the producers put that up there.
Do you think that Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, Robert?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Just because of the age factor. And I still wonder if this fight actually comes off. It already had to be canceled once because of a health scare by Tyson.
Ulcer problem. They had to
I
land a
wonder.
plane.
Yeah, I wonder if they make it to November 15th, honestly. And I know Netflix really wants this fight. They've invested a lot of time and money into it. But for their sake, I hope they get it. But I really have doubts whether this is actually going to come off.
Yeah, I don't know that it will. I'll be honest with you. I mean, Tyson is 58, and Hamed just says, "How is he getting licensed at 58?" Listen, man, your guess is as good as mine. I have no clue. Because it was going to be a legit fight. I think it was going to count or something like that. Steven says, "I fear Tyson running out of gas against Jake Paul." Listen, you got to worry about Jake Paul running out of gas because, how long ago was the Roy Jones fight? That was like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
that was 3 years ago, Eric.
3 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
And he was able to go 10 rounds or whatever it was.
I think was it 8 rounds? I think
8
wasn't
rounds.
it? I think it was eight rounds.
It was 8 rounds.
So he went 8 rounds with like Roy Jones. That was 3 years ago. And he was in his 50s then. All right. And now it's not like he's consistent. You know what I mean? It's not like he's consistent or anything. 3 years is like an eternity. I mean, yeah, he did. He looked great against Roy, but again, Roy Jones was older, and yeah, it's just Tyson and Jones were 2-minute rounds. Hamed said they were 2-minute rounds. I don't care. But yeah, man, I just we lost Beeb. We lost him. Where'd he go?
Oh, we do that. That's not good. That's not good.
It's not terribly bad, is it, Robert? Though, let's be honest.
Sometimes I wonder where he comes up with stuff.
I agree. All right, Robert, let's go to the news and rumors here. We already went through the upcoming fights. This is interesting here. So Lomachenko is going to take a break and not fight Tank next. All right. According to Steve Kim, Loma's manager, Igis Klimas, has indicated the Tank Davis fight might not be next for Loma. Quote, "Loma is not in the mood right now. He doesn't have the motivation at the moment. He's taking off. He wants to spend time with family. He doesn't want to do anything until the end of the year. Just money is not what motivates him. You can offer him tens of millions of dollars. If he doesn't have the motivation, he's not ready to prepare for the fight." Robert, what do you
Eric,
make of this
here's my problem with this. Lomachenko is like 36, 37 years old. At his age, he can't really afford to take a bunch of time off because Tank would probably go into that fight as a favorite anyway. If Loma takes too much time off before this fight takes place, Tank will become an overwhelming favorite just because of the age factor. I want to see Tank in a tough fight where somebody's going to be able to test him. And I think Loma, with his boxing skills, his movement, and stuff like that, is going to be able to do that. But if he takes too much time off, then questions are going to be raised about, okay, Loma's older, maybe he doesn't want to fight anymore.
He did this with Stevenson too last year because he wanted to fight. Stevenson wanted to fight him, and then they said, "Oh, we're not going to fight Stevenson. We're going to fight Kambosos instead."
What does he have? 2 gold medals, Beeb?
I think one. Is it?
Yes.
Is it 2, Robert, or 1?
He got 2.
Okay.
He got 2.
All right.
He's been in this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't care how many fights he's got under him or professionally or whatever. It's a long time for him to, he's had a lot of fights. He's winding down. And this is a big fight. If he's not 100% for this fight, he shouldn't take the fight. If he's not 100% in right now in his career, you need to call it, because this isn't something that you can do halfway.
Well, he did say this.
No.
He did say that he wanted Tank and Shakur to fight, and then he would fight the winner. So that would be for like 3 belts instead of, just the 2. But my problem with that is, why would you want to do that when the Tank fight's a monster fight and risk Shakur winning? Unless you think that, I'm pretty confident Tank would beat Shakur, but unless you believe that too, why would you want that if you don't know the outcome? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know the outcome of that fight. I'll be honest. I don't know the outcome of the Tank Shakur
fight.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people would probably pick Shakur just as much as Tank. It'd probably obviously be a 50-50 fight.
I think it is a 50-50 fight. I don't think it's not a foregone conclusion Tank wins that fight.
Yeah, so if Shakur were to win that fight, you would have ended up losing a big fight with Tank. Why would you do that? So I don't know. Are you gonna retire? What do you want to do? I mean, he's got a title.
He doesn't
now.
care about the money. His manager has admitted he doesn't care about the money.
He's got a title now. He's a champion. So I mean, what's he gonna do? So I don't know.
I don't know what he does.
He's got to figure something out.
Well, look, and Stevenson doesn't have a promoter right now, guys. So if Loma's going to be on the sidelines, and if they want to put, say, Tank and Stevenson together, then who's going to negotiate on Stevenson's behalf? Since Stevenson right now doesn't have a promoter, he didn't re-sign with Top Rank. He's been interviewed by Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya, so we don't even know what his status is as far as his next fight is concerned, or who his next promoter is going to be.
Well, De La Hoya is not interested in him because he didn't like when Shakur said that he doesn't care what the fans think. He said, "I don't fight for the fans," and De La Hoya didn't like that. So it seems like Golden Boy may be off the table. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
who cares? I mean, people
cares
say De La Hoya says crazy things.
Yeah, he'll say anything.
So let me ask both of you guys this question: what fight would you like better? Tank versus Shakur, Tank versus Loma. I actually would like Tank versus Loma. I'm a bit disappointed the fight's not happening, to be honest with you.
Tank versus Loma is probably a better fight, okay? But not if Loma's not 100%. Not if his mind's not in it. And so the fact that he's out right now, I don't want to see the fight if he's out. You know what I'm saying? Where if he's not, motivated or whatever.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that it's a case of Loma just wanting to fight less frequently because of his age and taking more time off?
Yeah, and I mean, again, you're talking about a guy who's done this for years as
that amateur career. Fights. That amateur career is equivalent to three pro careers.
2 Olympic gold medals. Yeah. You know how difficult that is?
Yeah.
2 Olympic gold medals
and all those amateur fights
in the men's division.
That
I'm not talking about
amateur career.
Right.
Anybody. Let me say you anybody can do that in the women's division, but in the men's division. That's where the cream rises to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Guys,
people got 2 gold medals. Two chick boxers got gold medals. Who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got 397 amateur fights. He went 396 and won. So I mean, obviously he knew what he was doing in the amateur ranks, and he was in there for a very long time. He may be reaching the stage where. He may not want to do it very much anymore, but I'm with Beeb. I would like to see the Loma and Tank fight because I want to see Tank Davis actually tested by somebody.
Everyone does.
Tank has had it very easy in his career, in my opinion. That's why Ryan Garcia.
He's fought a lot of good fighters. You got to give him credit, man. He's fought a lot of good fighters, and he's beaten all of them. And sometimes he's been up against it in those fights. And he's always found a way to win. He's always come out on top. Now, Tank's legit. I think Tank is legit. We want to see him test. We want to see him fight a big fight, but he's fought some big fights. So, like I said, I think he's tested. I think he's a marketable champion, and I think he's the guy right now. I think you could argue that he's even, he's not drawing as much money as Canelo. But pay-per-view wise, I wonder.
He's catching up there. He's catching up to Canelo pay-per-view wise.
Yeah.
Because Canelo's not fighting. I still think Canelo's going to fight David by the end of the year. But you love it. You love it. But if that fight.
Did you hear? The WBC has mandatory David Benavidez right now for Canelo's WBC title.
Again, the writing is on the wall. The pathway has been set.
I mean, let's face
it. For the win.
Let's face it. Every time the WBC mandates a contender, it's as good as gold. Oh, wait. No, it's not. You know what that means? That's about as good as you mandating him to be the mandatory contender.
They're going to order it this
Nobody
time. Suleiman's going to put his foot down. And if he doesn't,
he can put his foot down all he wants. He's got 12 belts under him. He can just, scrap that belt. He's not a big fan of the WBC anyway. They had to crawl back. In case you guys have forgotten history, the WBC had to crawl back to Canelo because Canelo refused to fight for them or fight for their stupid belts or whatever. They had to go back, offer him a whole bunch of payola. Oh yeah, they did.
They lost so much
Oh,
credibility.
yeah, they did.
They lost so much credibility when they did
Yeah.
that.
They lost credibility as soon as Suleiman took over. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's terrible.
It's a joke.
He's terrible. So he mandates David Benavidez. They all save face right there, and Canelo's going to drop that belt or whatever and go fight. Who was that mandatory he signed up to fight? Who was that dude?
The skull guy?
Now he's talking about fighting Chris Eubank Jr.
I don't think.
Why don't we just get whoever, you know? And like Chris Eubank Jr.
I catch a lot of heat for this because from the Canelo can do whatever he wants crowd, but okay, he can do whatever he wants.
He can, but it doesn't mean we got to accept it.
So we can do whatever we want, and the broadcasters can do whatever they want, and the sanctioning bodies can do whatever they want too. So again, if we don't pay the fights, and then these belts start to get stripped away piece by piece, then it is what it is.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's the thing.
And then people are like, oh, he can fight whoever he wants. Who cares? Well, all right. Well, he'll have to deal with the repercussions of fighting whoever he wants. That's the way the world works. Anybody can do whatever they want, but they have to deal with the repercussions of doing whatever they want.
So I tell you, man, this opens it up. Who do you think gets Tank next? Is it going to be Isaac Cruz, or is it going to be Shakur?
They may make that Shakur fight because they after seeing Shakur's last couple of fights, they may feel good about that. I feel good about that. I'm picking Tank in that fight.
Yeah, I think Tank and Shakur will be next.
Don't make that fight.
I tell you what, man, that's a dangerous fight.
The problem for Shakur in that fight is if he's not throwing a lot of punches, right, and Tank is able to back him up, right? If he wants to get overly defensive in that fight, he wants to stink the joint out, and that ain't going to work against Tank because Tank's got quick feet. You're not going to be able to run around the ring against Tank, right?
He's very good defensively too. He's a lot better than people say. He's really good defensively.
That's very true, Eric. You're not going to be able to play with Tank like you play with all these other guys. You're going to be in there with a guy. You've never been in there with a guy who's as quick as Tank, who's as explosive as Tank, has the boxing IQ as Tank, and also the X factor is that power. So a lot of this shit that's been working against these other guys, with all due respect, Tank is not Oscar Valdez. And I love Oscar Valdez, but Tank is not Oscar Valdez.
Yeah.
And that's the best guy he's fought.
Yeah, it is. But the
Tank
best guy he fought, let me
that.
tell you what, the best guy he fought, and that was, a lot of people were taking the other guy going in, and he demolished him. Shakur won literally every single round in that fight. That fight wasn't even close. And he's got the ability to outbox Tank. Tank is not going to outbox him. Tank is going to outpunch him. Tank is going to, move the power. That's the problem that he's going to have is, does he have any punch to keep Tank off of him? He's going to need that.
Well, here's another problem too. His style is a counterpuncher's dream, because if you're not throwing a lot of shots, then how are you going to win?
Yeah, right.
Counterpunchers love when you want to throw little tic-tac shots. You're not going to pressure a counterpuncher and apply pressure, and you're not going to try to fight a fast-paced offensive fight. That's going to fall right into Tank's hands.
If Tank has a shot in that fight, if Tank has got a shot in that fight, he's going to have to make his move probably in the middle rounds, because I think Shakur in the first four or five rounds, I could see Shakur being way too much for him as far as speed goes, as far as the movement, as far as all of that. I mean, because he's going to move.
So you think Shakur is a lot faster than Tank?
Listen, Shakur is faster in every way than Tank. Okay,
you think so?
But it's not by a wide margin either.
Okay.
They're both fast. Shakur is definitely slicker. Shakur is definitely the better boxer.
Gotcha.
Tank, I don't see Tank winning a decision unless he knocks him down a couple of times, but he's not going to box his way to a decision with Shakur.
It's like the speed thing. Like going in, we actually thought that Devin Haney was faster than Ryan, but we thought it was close. Then when we saw them in the ring together, Ryan actually looked a lot faster than Devin.
Looked a lot faster.
So,
looked a lot faster.
On the surface, you may be right on the surface, but who knows what happens fight night?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things, man. You never know. But if I had my druthers, I'd rather see the Shakur fight.
Really? Okay.
I would, rather than the Loma fight, because like I said, after hearing that about Loma, he's not wanting to fight. I don't want to see him if he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
Fine. Then put Shakur next. But whatever. Just get these guys in the ring. Just get him in the ring. Get Tank back in the ring with somebody, and preferably Shakur. Has anybody heard anything about Shakur as far as like where's he going now?
No, there's no word on that.
Because he turned down what, 15 million?
Yeah.
15 million, 5 fights for 15 million, 3 mil a fight.
And that was
Teal's only getting 2 million. Teal's getting 2 million.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's crazy. And Teal's got a better resume than Shakur, in my opinion.
And they could Top Rank make that fight?
Teal versus Shakur?
No.
Tank. Yeah, they can make that fight. They can make that fight.
They talked about Shakur going to the money team, Mayweather Promotions.
I would hate that if that happened.
He's fighting nobody at that point.
He'll go into obscurity if he fights on the money team.
I agree. Matchroom, I don't think Eddie Hearn's going to match that.
Eddie Hearn's not going to be able to pay him what he wants, and he doesn't have all the he doesn't have all the fights. Like, who are you going to fight over there? Zepeda, and then who else?
Yeah, that's it. And who knows if he fights Zepeda? You know what I mean? Really, I mean, and realistically, who knows? I tell you what, man, I would like to see him go back to Top Rank or PBC. Either one of those. Let's make that fight. Let's make that Tank fight.
Yeah, he's got to go back to PBC.
Yeah, because he does. I mean, listen, he needs a big fight. Tank's had the Ryan Garcia for Tank was the big fight. That was the one everybody was focused on. This would be another one that everybody's focused on. And especially, with a guy like Shakur, it's a good fight. And that's either you're going to sink or swim in that fight. You know what I mean? If you're Shakur, you're either worth the money or you ain't worth the money. 15 million's a lot to walk away from, though.
Well, yeah.
2 million for Tio. That's crazy. Yeah, I would like to see Tio and Shakur. I mean, what about that fight? That's a great fight. Again, that's another fight. We could get going and everything like that. Nobody wants to fight each other, though. Nobody. Naoya Inoue and TJ Doheny is official for September 3rd in Tokyo. Now, Marajan Akhmadiliev has agreed to step aside and because he was the mandatory for that. I guess the WBA mandatory for Inoue, right? He's stepping aside so Doheny he can fight Doheny, and it was kind of confusing to me because Doheny's. I mean, he's not going to beat Inoue, I don't think.
No,
right? He's not going to beat Inoue.
I don't think. But I think the biggest challenge for Inoue would be, like we said, Nakatani.
Yeah, I agree. But they said that TJ Doheny, the problem, they talked to Top Rank, and they said that Doheny is like real popular over in Japan. So that's why they chose him over Akhmadiliev.
I never knew that.
Doesn't matter. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I'd like to see him fight. Anyways, at the place right now where I want to see him fight stars every time out. You know what I mean? It just is. But listen, Doheny's going to pack that arena because he's real popular over there. Inoue is going to pack it regardless. So there you go. And Junto he fights for a Top Rank as well.
Correct. That's true.
So that fight is easy to make.
Easy fight to make, man.
Easy fight to make. That's for sure. So that's September 3rd in Tokyo. So we could be looking at early next year, Nakatani versus Inoue.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on a Tuesday, and it's going to be in the morning, baby. I love it.
That's right.
You're going to start
watching it while I'm working.
Does Doheny beat Inoue?
No way. No, absolutely not. Nope.
I actually thought the Akhmadiliev fight was a better fight, but
yeah, it's a better fight. But
I thought it was too. But what are you going to do?
Better fight.
I mean, he probably took some payola to step aside. I know I would have. And I tell you what, I would have stepped aside too. I like money. That's how I do. Robert Helenius, Beeb, your boy.
That's Right.
Your boy, this is on you because he's
Right.
your man. All right. Suspended for 2 years for a failed PED test.
Yeah.
Robert Hellenius has been banned for 2 years due to an anti-doping rule violations using a prohibited substance before his bout against Anthony Joshua in August 2023. Didn't even help him for that. The UK anti-doping said Friday. Let me ask you a question, Beeb. Why did he fight if he had the drug in his system?
I have no idea.
Why did they let them fight? I don't understand that.
I have no idea. I guess it was the post-fight test that it came up in.
I don't understand. Or
So
it had to
so-
be the pre-fight test because it said before.
The results of the pre-fight test, I think, didn't come back right away, possibly.
Hellenius tested positive for clomiphene. Of course, he blamed it on the eggs. He said that he was eating eggs and stuff like
Chicken.
that.
It was the chicken and the eggs,
It was
whatever.
chicken. I ate a bunch of eggs. That was my whole thing. I was on
done.
a low carb thing. I was eating a bunch of eggs and chicken. And next thing I know, I'm peeing for clomiphene. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I don't care about PEDs anymore, man. Whatever happens from now on. If they get busted, they get busted. Who cares?
They're going to do whatever they want to do anyway.
I'm
ahead.
getting sick of that discussion, to be honest.
I'm not even having these PEDs. Like, all right, whatever, 2 years, whatever.
I don't
Yes.
understand. Like, again, man, like, I don't understand. After the fight, testing after the fight, I get. But if you know the results before the fight, then why is he fighting?
No, they didn't know the results before. They said they didn't.
How did you not know? You
They're
test for a
saying-
week out, you know.
I
It
guess
doesn't take. How long does a drug test actually take?
it depends what they're testing for, because they're testing for all types of substances.
We
But
can go to Walgreens and get a test.
But the problem is they use the WADA accredited labs, and they have to send. And there's only very minimal labs that test for these substances, and then you're doing like a full panel of the amounts of drugs that they're testing for. So it does take a little bit of a while. The blood tests don't come back right away. It's not like getting your blood sugar, glucose, or your cholesterol tested. It's it is a little bit more complex. So
yeah, I don't know. But again, man, everybody. It seems like every week we got somebody testing positive for something.
yeah, they're gonna
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
do? Can't do anything.
And the thing is, too, in the UK, they don't fuck around. They give you 2-year bans. It's not like over here they give you 9-month bans or 1-year bans.
There's almost no, why not do it? So I don't know, man. Let's see here. That is it, guys. It is a low boxing week, low volume week, and low blog talk week. So there you go. All right, guys. Raphael says Eric Morales tested positive for clenbuterol in New York City versus Danny Garcia before the fight, and the NYAC told him to go figure it out. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Like I said, the reason why I don't care anymore is because there's no uniformity. One state does one thing, another state does another. One country does one thing, another country does another.
This is why Turkey is so important, because he wants to put all that under one banner. And you know what? I'm good with it.
Certain guys test positive, nothing happens. Other guys, they get the book thrown at them. Sometimes a guy will get 6 months, another time a guy get 9 months, another time a guy got 2 years. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
Canelo had a 6-month ban. Julio Cesar Martinez got nothing. Eric Morales got nothing.
Yeah.
So
it's just nonsense.
Oscar Valdez got nothing. So I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1. Find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. And you can find me on X at ringside73. And guys, we will see you next week. I hate blog talk. How about that? Let's end there.